But yes, I figured we could have a little look back at the 6 hour, and we can get the pen tool out more, because I like that. As much as the mods may complain, the pen tool is good. Yes. See what is it? It's going to be over here somewhere, isn't it? Yes, hello. Hello, Chad. I know Jake doesn't like my pen tool for some reason. I don't know why. He's just a misery, I guess. I don't know. Look, I mean, look, we can give Jake a nice little message. Oh dear. How are we all doing though today, chat? We all doing well? I hope. What am I getting tagged in now? Jesus Christ. Oh, more. Oh, nah. I can't spend that money yet. I'm in a Discord for like PS5 stock when it comes in, and there's been quite a few tags today. But I just can't. Like, I wouldn't mind one, but I don't want one enough right now. I'm just waiting for the day where I go, oh yeah, I want that now. I know. So then I can go and snap one up. But not today, I don't think. Not this day. Yow. Not this day. Let's start off this replay anyway. Bugger it. We can sit and chat. Sit and chat with chat. I go trying to get one. I mean, I don't know if there's a sort of similar thing for you guys over there. You managed to get one a couple of weeks ago. Nice. Yeah, I'm only like stock is like once a week. Yeah, that sounds about right. Really. Whenever they get them, and then they just get snapped up, don't they? Really. Sell in 2 minutes. Yeah, that's how it's been here. At least some stores are now sort of, or at least getting to a point where they're offering queues and stuff, and automatically putting you into queues over here. Rather than it just being a free for all, gives people some sort of opportunity at least. But yeah, it's been a nightmare, hasn't it? It has been a nightmare. Really. Sony now is doing some sort of queue system as well. Yeah. That's what you did for game. Yeah, I did. It was funny with game. I did get into a queue, and then I sat there and thought, this was prior to spending money on the Thrustmaster shifter thing. And I was, oh, do I really want to spend like 400 or 500 quid on this right now? Not really. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I mean, look, it's fascinating to watch your own face when you're driving. Like, one thing I was on about after the race, sort of looking. Watch this lean into Mulsanne. What is that? Any games that interest me on PS5? I mean, honestly, probably the most I'd be interested in. I wish I could get rid of this though. Look at this though. Bloody head going over here. I do, yeah. As for like games I'd be interested in, like maybe that's not what I meant. I mean, at the moment, the obvious one would be the Gran Turismo. But of course, that's just nowhere near ready yet anyway. So there's no rush or anything. I'll be honest, the older I'm getting, the more I'm starting to notice that what am I doing with this? I'm trying to stab myself. I'm sort of almost reverting back to how I used to do things and just sort of sit back or lie back and play games like that rather than sitting at the computer, keyboard and mouse and all that. It's, you know, I'm sort of going back a bit. I guess as I become a bit more relaxed again around just having fun with games and things like that. Of course, I can do that with the PC, but there's just a couple of things that you know will be only on console that won't ever come to PC. You know, like for example, I have never had the chance to play The Last of Us. And as much as I've seen it, I'd still love to play something like that. You know? Hey, Skell. Enjoying your 4 wide finishes again. I did see that live, by the way, as I think I tagged you in Discord, but it was that was rather good. That was rather good. Lost Judgment. What's that? What's old Lost Judgment? That's not one I've heard of. Newest RGG. What on earth is... Oh, okay. Got you. Got you. Yeah, Jay, you're not wrong. That's for sure. And that's sort of how I've done it for a while, certainly with some of the exclusive stuff. Yeah, you have to be watching the right person for sure. Like you're watching that stuff, you don't really you don't want, at least you don't want, not everyone. Personally, like I like to watch that sort of stuff, and they talk in between, maybe in the down moments, and rather than just talking all over it, let's be calm about this, And it's certainly what I did with the Last of Us games so far. I still wouldn't mind playing them though. Hi Taylor, welcome. What's going on here? Just sort of chatting and looking back a bit at the 6 hour. I was sort of going to see if anyone like when we get into traffic stuff, I was going to see if anyone had would like sort of my own insight and thoughts, like going through traffic on what I'm thinking, what I'm planning to do, and that sort of stuff, really. But mostly just sort of chatting, really, whilst we're watching the first few. Like, you know what? Actually, we don't really need to see this. Well, actually, no, we sort of can, because my eyes at the moment are very much focused on this thing here. Because this guy, there was just because I said it in the stream at the time, like a couple of times. I was expecting, prior to getting punted, I was expecting them to try something. It was just a body language thing, the way that they boosted in a couple of places, and I was, I'm just sort of in my head. I was sort of preparing myself for something unexpected, just because there was a couple of places where they were boosting. They tried different boosts in a couple of places, and okay. Sort of almost expected a little dart in the Ford Chicane, or something like out of Dunlop or something like that. Hey, Coin. Yeah, definitely not driving right now. We will be driving in a bit though, because we've got a shaft to shake around. Apparently, like that. Jesus Christ. Oh, we're too low now. Come on, let me get. The shaft, yes.
If really underprepared, pal, what the hell's going on over there? Still with the rookie error as well.
There we go, that's better. No, not at all. I've managed to get a firm grip, yes. So much so, I need my gloves. I finally remembered to put the the mature audience tag on as well. I'll be honest, it wasn't on because I didn't realise where it was. So it's been off for this entire time. Since we started streaming, it has been off. But there we go. No rude words or bad things have ever happened on this stream in those few months. Not in the slightest. No. Oh, God. What have you sent? A bit, though, because we've got, you know, we've got a shaft to shake you around. A bit, though, because we've got... Don't tell Twitch that with the partner application. It's alright. I think that's a way off yet. We're alright. we'll brush that under the rug. Oh dear. What is this rude word you're on about? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. No rude words have ever been uttered. Oh Christ. I think when we get to actually driving, we'll start off with some sequential stuff with it. It just, oh God. Yesterday I was why does this stupid thing do that when I do that? Damn it. Yesterday I was doing a little bit of stuff because we were obviously in Bacho's chat talking about it. Some of us were on about some wonderfully crazy combinations, and on what was it, on Sunday night I took some very silly things to Knockhill in AC, like a Toyota Le Mans hypercar and a 919 Evo and a Lamborghini Murcielago GT1 car. All fairly hilarious around Knockhill. Then yesterday, obviously, some of the stuff that came up in his chat was VIR when it came up, when he was showing up highlights from the IMSA stuff there. And what did I take right there in the end? Oh, it was the Mercedes CLK GTR and the 911 GT1 as well. You know, because why not? Why not? Just say it's a hot tub stream. Yeah. V8 Supercar. I haven't got any on here actually yet. I don't think I've downloaded them. I do have some Super Tours, of course, though, which I did a little bit of as well. How did they fare? Actually, to be fair, they weren't too bad around there. I was kind of said that the URD CLK is a bit but it's get my own stick up and practice the V8s more. Do it. We could try the iRacing V8s, actually. It's been a long time since I've driven those things. You know, very long time. Last time I drove them, they had been... The community had gone, oh, there's too much grip! So iRacing decided to just sort of, you know, take away grip and increase the tyre wear. Next-gen Cup car around Le Mans. I hate that that's even a possibility. Yeah, Sam, it is, isn't it? I know, yeah. I'll have to give them another go. Because I said, I used to really enjoy those cars when they came out. Really enjoyed them. Here we go, we're coming up. I think it'll be traffic next lap, won't it now? 30 seconds. I need to be able to mute myself. Shut up. Don't need to hear myself. Oh, but here we go. This is sort of like, hang on. Let's have a little look at this. See, I want to say, like, I boost normally here. And if we're just looking in the mirror, here they come. Not on this occasion. There was one lap, though, where they were really aggressive on the boost, coming up to Porsche Curves. I just thought, nah, we'll just use a little bit more here. I think I was using more out of the last chicane anyway. So it just sort of matched up coming out of there in the end. Oh, they so nearly got a slowdown there. See, like, I'm pointing to you on my mouse isn't showing up on the monitor. That's annoying. It got me so much I even started watching this year's season of The Real Thing. Blimey. See, it's funny with supercars, isn't it? I've really struggled to get into it over the years. But but it'll be it'll be great burns to get, especially Sandown. Sandown is for me at least, is a non-Aussie at least. It is by far the better of those two circuits. But they'll both be good. They'll both be good in iRacing. Should be. Just hope people race them, because they're not going to be very well known to the world, especially Winton. You know. That's the point, chat. What did we? Oh my god, brain. I tried the timer in the middle of the screen. Do you think it was okay there? I mean, I know you can't see anything behind there anyway, but sort of like, I was wondering if it sort of felt a little bit claustrophobic in this sort of area. Okay. I guess should we? I think there's threats of doing it a little bit more, so we will. I guess I'll leave it there then for next time, because I put it initially. I was going to put it over here, but I was just starting to, like, that's starting to take up some space of like stuff you can actually see moving, so I didn't want it to be too intrusive. This feels pretty minimal. Yeah. I mean, it's the great thing with with this, honestly, having all the information I need there, and then just using the old relative for anything else, really. You just don't. I don't think you need all that other stuff, which is hilarious coming from me, given my past. But you know. Oh man, yeah, and he's just so good. Yeah, he is. He's just so good, man. But the thing is, quite like, you know, we weren't that far off. And again, we went into that and we hadn't raced since the 24. You know? Yes.
Well, it's something I think about as well, Tom. I'm always looking for an interesting strategy thing to do.
Here we go. I think we get both. I think we're able to, like. Now here, one of the things here, if I go back a few seconds, oh, too far. You're here for the shaft work. Well, the shaft work is coming. The shaft work is coming.
I'm always looking for an interesting strategy thing to do.
Now here, obviously, this one's just a box standard. You know, you go around there. But we'll see. We'll sort of shut up, Kula. Now here, as we'll see in some other clips with this one, where you get a car that's sort of further around the corner, like this one. Here, what I do when I get that is I try and sort of drive it in quite deep, sort of get on the brake relatively hard, downshift it, and then floor it, because then the front really grips up and you can be quite aggressive into here. Because obviously, being on that wider line, you can't carry that same speed. So if you get it slowed up and then smash the throttle again, you can really carry some good speed into here and be more aggressive into the left-hander. Like so, really. That was, you know, that's... Ow. clicky knee unrequired. And that way, if you're like you get the car nice and straight into that left, you're not carrying too much speed from the angle that you're at then. Oh God, here we go. I bet. I mean, here we're just sort of like at this point, like even at this point, I know I'm not getting these before the Dunlop S, the S's. At this point, you're going to be lucky if you get one of them, if you can get in between them after the S's, because they're just too far ahead here. So you're looking at least just trying to carry good speed through here. If you can get one of them, it's a bonus. Really. But also, you're thinking about, is this worth doing? Is this worth trying to get in between them? Because, it's huge. That's the thing. But here you're starting to think, okay, maybe I could dive this one, but is it worth it? Is it worth getting past, or is it worth just waiting a little bit and then smashing the boost on the exit rather than having the completely compromised run on the inside? Because that might not actually be a time gain necessarily, you know. So here in the end, I decided to wait. And here you're also you have to be aware of this one, because as you know, GT cars like to do, they like to come across here to get onto the inside line. They like to shoot across here. So I'm looking for that at this point. This car's already, as far as I'm concerned, this one on the left over here, this is done. I'm past, essentially. It's not even in my brain, because I'm assuming, because you have to trust someone, you have to trust them in the end, that they've seen me, they know where I'm going up the inside out of the corner. That's not even in my head anymore at this point. My focus is on this one entirely. And sure enough, that's the sort of thing you got to be prepared for coming out of there. It's pretty much, I'd say that on this track, it's probably the most dangerous point for traffic. This one, you know, but it's like, as long as you're sitting there and you're ready for it, you're in your head, you're watching for it, you'll be all right. Because I don't think I come off the boost here at all. We'll have a watch though. Yep. Thumb firmly planted on the boost all the way. That's how much I was expecting it. You know. If it didn't happen, bonus. But it's yeah, it's for confirmation. Yeah. So at this point, I'm thinking probably waiting afterwards. Yeah. Just because, you know, again here, if we go back again here, like, you could shoot round the outside here on the boost, but with the second car there being so close, you're hoping then at that point that one is looking in his mirror 2 cars back, and when he's coming off a corner like that with someone up his ass, he's probably not, his attention won't be on you. So the thing here for me to do would be to just wait and then do this, you know, from that far back. Yeah, you could do. Hey, Arts, welcome.
Like,
yeah, it's hilarious. You could do anything if you wanted to. Oh no! No pressure. I mean, here this will be easy. We'll get by this one before the corner. But here I am. Like, this was what I was sort of trying to obviously get to Grizz, as you would have heard. Maybe would have heard me on Saturday. And here, this was sort of roughly my breaking point into here, and then just dragging it all the way in. And we got a little bit of extra boost lift. And missing the apex. I was on the curb just about.
Oh no. I'm sorry, man. I'll take it.
I think what we'll do. Now here again, like I was trying to say, here, I mean, they've got a little bit of crossover here, but but look how early, this is how early I start dragging this thing on the brake. For tiny mistakes we all make every race. Yeah, that's how I've done it, Coin, for a long time, and then just drag it all the way through, and then harder on again. I'm not saying that the way I do it is the right way, but it's what works for me, you know. Here, obviously, you want to be very careful, because you get your wheel on there and you're done for.
What am I doing? What am I doing with the boost?
Yeah, here we go. Speaking of little mistakes, look at that. Concentration completely went for a moment. Just completely. I couldn't explain to you why I did that. I really couldn't. Just did. I realise that Sam's Dash has the usual rev lines, and you guys do. And I remember what is the early shift? Actually, let me get a sim hub up. I can get a sim hub, and we can have a look at what my number is again. I think it's something like 4250. Go on, sim hub. Let me quickly switch over to here. Hang on a minute. There. Yeah, that's the rev limit I use on the hub. So that's something like I think it's like the middle or the last of the yellow lights in the cockpit at 4250. It's just there's no point revving this car out. It's hilarious. Is that I've ever found. I don't think there's any point at all. We've been shifting like that for a long, long time. I don't know, really. It's just sort of what we do. You put on your flashy wheel. Diesel hydro. Yeah, exactly. Perhaps not as torquey as the old V12 TDI, but it's still, it's still a diesel at the end of the day. Sounds better in low revs. I mean that too. It does. Here, I do this little, like for me here, I do this little. God damn it! I wish you could go. Isn't it like a hotkey on Twitch to go back like 5-10 seconds or something? Bloody annoying. Do you not rev out fifth? No. Left key, left, right. Okay. So here, this little what I do here, this little flick down to fourth, and then straight back up to fifth. It just gets the nose in that a little bit more. Just tucks it in a little bit. And then through here, it's like I love this. Oh, god damn it! That's too far, but it does work though. Yeah, it does work. The keys work though. Like I love this little flick. Watch this. Like little dab on the brake, throw it in you go. Like it's so good. It feels so good. Oh. And here again, I like used a bit more this time now. All the way through, all the ways on the brake until there, and then just sort of cruise through here. And then smash it again. For as much as I only had 3% left. You know.
Just lost concentration.
Remember when that was a braking zone? Yeah. And here again, what I do here... Hang on. Let's... No. Right.
Just lost concentration.
Like here, I'm... Again, at this point... I mean, this is even late. This might even be a little bit late for me. I'm on the brakes already. I'm starting to... As much as, again, I'm crossing over the throttle. This... The crossover... Is something I'm doing because I haven't driven the car as much anymore. So I'm not quite... My head isn't quite as fast on the getting off the throttle thing. So I'm doing a little bit of crossover, which is bad because you don't regen. So... But yeah, this is what I've done for a long, long time. This is what I did on my qualifying lap. So, hey Ismail. Yeah, I've done. It's what I did because I taught it. Really taught it to myself back in what was it, like January 2019, I think, for the 6 hour we did here. And
Win, but I just got, I'm sorry.
Brain, come on.
I suppose at least on the plus side.
For yeah, because there was a 6 hour that we somehow managed to win back then. But back then it was much more important to do that. It's less important now. But I'm still so in the habit of it that it's, you know, I've just kept on doing it. So I'm sure I could be quicker.
And so we were watching the end of the Division 1 race, and that thing was more like a bloody touring car race.
Making my painful memories from playing. Oh dear, I wish. So yeah, here I'm already. Yeah. Let's go all the way back to the first chicane again. So this is where I'm starting to get on the brake again. Just here. It was sort of what I was telling Grizz, look out for that sort of the marshal and the gap in the wall. And dragging it all the way in. It's just a different way of doing it, really, now. Hey, Bremsplatten. 347 kilometers an hour on the brakes. It's stupid, isn't it? It is stupid. I was looking back at the I mean, because we talked about it a little bit with the like the article, not the article, the little thing I wrote up on the old iRacing forum about how much slower these things are if you're actually trying to apply the rules. Oh, Bremsplatten. I know this from the weekend. Doing 09s on a 12-lap stint. I mean, again, look at this lean. What is this? What am I doing? The camera doesn't help because it's at a slight angle. Like that's if I look at it straight, but that's actually straight, so it looks worse when I do that. Going into left and going to right-handers, whereas into right-handers, like this is the thing, when you save more than you utilize it. So of course, when I go into right-handers, if I do the same thing, it doesn't look as bad. Going into left-handers, it's very different. Oh dear. There we go, 76 again. It was at that point I realised there was no chance of anything to challenge for win. And again, here we go. On the brakes again here. Just that little sliver of brake all the way through. Bam. Now go back to slalom. No. Like I say though, this isn't... I'm not going to sit here and say this is the right way to do it. Because the way the cars have moved on, I'm still driving these cars as if they were the previous ones, really. So my pace is probably not as good as it could be, but it's just sort of what I'm comfortable and what I'm used to. And here again, I think this was a little... There we go. I've boosted somewhat normally, here. We've gone 1% over. But here, if you watch the mirror, oh, hang on, watch up here. He's just having a little. He has a little dart here. Here he comes. And I've seen it now. And we just like, yeah, just, nah. You're not coming by. It's right. Death soon, yeah. A couple of laps away, I think the death is. Which we shall actually see, because it's sort of like, when I look back at it myself later on, it was actually, I didn't brake that early, really, for it. He just went in deep. Can you enjoy your explosions? I mean, we could do, you know? We could do. Now here, this was somewhere, through here is somewhere I've always struggled with. Excuse me. Because the car, I don't know. The car, I mean, I'm sure it's sometimes the line I take, but sometimes it feels like it reacts differently every time you go through here. Do we get to know what is or isn't a straight line at the back of the car? Maybe. I mean, obviously, you know, here you can take so much. It's ridiculous. Through here, it always feels like the diff is doing something funky. Sometimes it's spinning up the wheels, sometimes it bogs down, sometimes it gets a little sideways. It's horrible through here. And it has been since the cars came in, really. Even with the Ultra Grip now, it's still like, ugh. It doesn't really like it very much. I mean, here we're now starting to think about this LMP2 that we're coming up to here. I mean, that was the thing with the, like, prior to when them bringing it in the ultra grippy tires. The that curb is part of my family. Oh man, this is yeah. It doesn't. It just doesn't like it at all. But yeah, at this point, we're starting to think about the LMP2 that's coming up. You know, that could be potentially down to Indy out of Arnage, depending on how fast or slow he is. You know, it's probably down to Indy looking at this now. Because, you know, you think you're boosting here again. You're going to have a big, you know, you're going to go up 20%, no, 30% on the deploy out of here. So you're going to be getting much closer. But that's how early I'm starting to think about that car now. You know, I'm seeing it on the relative. And there he is. Only 2.5 seconds up the road. Big boost. It'll be, what, less than 1 by the time you get to Indy. The politically correct question would be, what is pace like? Yeah. But unfortunately, we're going to have to follow him through Indy. So we'll just, you know, easy on the brakes. And out here, it's sort of, you know, it's awkward. Hey, side switch. If you're on TMR, you'd know about that LMP2 to a point where Taylor would be telling you that the drive me for breakfast last Thursday. Oh dear. But now, so this one's a straggler. You know, we got the rest of the field coming up later on. Let's get it up there, shall we? Oh, it's this lap. This lap is the murder. It's funny I say that.
I sort of expect him to do something a little unexpected with the boost at some point to try and get by. I get the feeling he's been trying it a couple of times in a couple of little places.
Yeah. Maybe it's just safety.
Maybe.
Bit of foreshadowing there, eh? A little bit. I mean, this one you're looking at, out of Arnage for sure.
Here we go, chat. I think here comes the bigger chaos.
Yep. I mean, those two up there, yeah, that's Porsche Curve material. Just too bloody quick in a straight line. So here I'm thinking, with the speed that we carry through here, like even at this point, I'm thinking at least one of these around the outside of the next right-hander. And this is where I sort of drive it in a bit more and then shoot round. This is always awkward for here. You just got to hope that they are. Now then, chat. Here it comes.
Careful. Coming. What happened there?
You just hit me.
So now you think, sort of like, you think about my normal braking zone is within this sort of area anyway. You know. Right now I'm still on full throttle. Still. Now we're sort of just starting to get onto the brake, ease it in, because we're on the inside line. Because we can't go in there at full speed. You can't do that from there. That's... What is this, anyway? You know, it's... I don't think the P2 did it. It was just the netcode with the you know, this from this angle, and the way, at least the way I was braking, this isn't really, you know, from here. Like I say, you can't go in at normal speed. So I'm just a little flicker on the brake now. Now look at this crossover. God, I need to work on that whenever we drive the car again. That's I need to really pay attention to that because that's bad. That's really bad. It's really bad, Coin. Oop, hang on. Bloody disgusting. So here we are. You know, we come over a little bit, and he's just like, you know, it's understandable. He wants to get by the P2, but you think at that point, you're hoping that the P2 lets you do it, you know? And he just comes in so deep. It's like you're not making that from there. It's just a mistake, you know? It happens. It's not the end of the world. Still in the race. Yeah, absolutely. He's just trying to follow through and just got it a bit wrong. That's all. Because it's sort of like while there was netcode, it was one of those that looked like there was going to be contact anyway. I'm very sorry about that overlap. Yeah. It would be normal to follow through. He just got it a bit wrong. He just went in a bit too quick. That's all.
I don't know why.
We'll skip over that.
That thing right there.
You just missed it. Yeah, exactly. It happens. We've all done it. You know, we've all done it. It's. You know, I'm not going to sit here at 8. You know, it's not. I'm not going to sit here and slag you off or anything like that. There's no. There's no.
It's what I said. I half expect him to do something different.
It's just not what you do. You know. We'll all safe it in here. Ooh, ooh. That was all a bit close, wasn't it? Jeez. Like out here, I'm like, oh boy. You got the bump just up here. Right there. There's your bump. Oops. There we go. At least, because the thing there is where sometimes when you get on the boost, obviously it pulls you forwards. And sometimes that understeer catches you off guard, and I didn't quite account for it. So thankfully when I came back off the boost, it gripped back up, and it was all alright. But
well, I mean, like, that's always going to be
for a while, but yeah,
Oh, they
for
did? Okay.
shit move.
you ran over there twice this week, Christ.
Yeah, that was
Do I still have the link handy? What link is that? Oh, what, the link for the yeah, what link? What am I missing here? How to unalive your racing one simple trick. Coin's amazing overtake when we did the 6 out. Okay. Just survive, estimate 10 more. No. No. Well, actually, we can count, can't we? So there's 1. What do you reckon? 2, 3, 4. 4 and 2/3. 4 and 3/4.
I'm going to have to try and turn Hodge down on the straights. That's
For some reason, Grizzle, you are extremely quiet.
My ears.
Discord.
I hear.
Either
Do I
that
do
or
this one?
you're
No, I
really
don't.
loud.
Okay.
You're really loud. So we're really loud, and he's really quiet.
Yeah, I got it.
All this while trying to. Oh yeah, I got to negotiate the P2.
Is it better now?
Oh dear.
Is it better now?
Yes. Yes. He very definitely was like, I'm just going to make a point. Oh dear.
There you go, I've got it between you.
Nice. We're all good.
So here, thankfully, with it being a prototype, you're not going to get slowed up
Dear.
through Tertre Rouge. It's be a fairly bog standard pass out of it. On the boost. Bye. See, at that point, again, this is why, as a P1, you have to like be so eyes up here. Because at this point, he could, I'd almost be expecting him to come to the inside rather than stay out wide. Because he's got plenty of time at this point to come over. But he's run wide anyway, and he may even have got a slow down there. And then he's like, you can look like he looked like he was going to snap right, and then pulled out of it.
I know, right? That fancy bloody wheel. Can
It's team speak fault, okay?
This one, I could. I mean, the closer, yeah, it's not happening. That's never happening. Never mind. Let me permit you, Coin, before you post anything new.
I can't help it when team speaks in the Stone Age.
Hey, Woody.
your bloody wheel in the Stone Age.
I find passing on corner exit harder than corner entry. Really?
Person here that has the problem.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know. For me, I sort of feel like I guess I've done it so much that it doesn't really, I don't know. I can understand that though. What have you got here, Coin?
If you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
I'm trying to fuck. My bad. I just broke too late.
Yes, yes, you did.
If you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
I'm trying to fuck. My bad. I just broke too late.
Beautiful. Yes, shaft. Jesus. Oh dear.
It feels quite understeering now. Oh, in this.
Aspects. The inhale was great, wasn't it? Hey, hello, Endless. Says the man with Arca brakes. Yes. Oh, yeah, buddy coin in his Arca brakes. Oh, no, it's not on the right window, damn it. Fast forward. So I need, what, 3? You're hoping to get at least 2 of them. You might get 3 of them for me. But these things are not slow. Yeah, you'll get all 3 of them here. Yeah, easy peasy. All 3. Job done.
I'm curious to see if we have optionals.
From breaking too late to deliberately not breaking too soon advantage. Look how far coin has come. Oh dear. Here, this is a little, like, I'd like to get the P2, but it's not going to happen. Just with the GT there as well. Even, because even if you somehow get the P2, even if you, I wasted the boost here as well. Look at this, don't do this. At this point, I haven't registered. There's also a GT car on the relative, because I can't see the damn thing, you know. There's only so much you can see.
Curious to see if we have optionals.
Oh, that's why I got by, isn't it? Yeah. I just used a bit... I don't know why I did that. I must have just lost concentration there or something. Weird. Oh, no! No, I know. It's in lap. It's in lap. Never mind. Yeah. It's in lap. Don't worry about that. Ignore that. I've just realised what lap it is. So, yeah, there's literally no point in... Overboosting for the pit lane. It's absolutely fine. Normal. Because there's no point. Because that boost is just going to go to waste. You may as well use it. Get the extra top end. You're just going to get it back in the pit lane anyway, so... Unfortunately, we've got to follow these things through here, but... Super Queen, can't you move your relative more onto the dash, or is it just... Well, you can move it around, but I like it sort of, I'm quite happy with it out there, out the way, really, you know? Oh, can you not serve them in the pit lane? Okay, well, I mean, that's good. Right. This stint was frustrating. Kept sort of getting traffic in awkward places. I wasn't driving very well. This was where more of the rust started coming back in again. I hadn't driven it really on these tyres in a while, in a race, in traffic. Well, since the 24. This wasn't a very good stint. One, from how I drove, and how traffic was. Traffic was annoying. We lost so much time in a couple of places. It was, like, very annoying. Very, very bloody annoying. Here we go, bog standard pass. That P2, you're going to be following through the next chicane. So then you're just looking at it, seeing what sort of speed it carries through, whether you go outside or inside, coming out of it again. It's split-second decision based on what you can see. Here I'm going outside because, you know, we're close enough to use that power, and there's not another car in front of it. Let's skip on a bit more. Seeing as we're now in amongst, not amongst traffic anymore, so. So we go, this one, you're thinking about this GT car, this is going to be out of the chicane. Not right on it, but certainly out of the chicane, it will be easy. Corvette slowdown was a bit more innocent. There you go, easy peasy. And a GT car that's not in the middle of the road. Amazing! So like at this point, I'm sort of like wanting to get back into it, try and catch Phil and Sergey and what's it? Yeah, Sergey. Here you should get all three of these GTs easy peasy down this straight, but they've made it interesting. So, you know, there's still space here. Next GT car, Porsche Curves.
We have the champion here.
I think. I don't think we get it. No, we won't get it here. What we might do... a bit far back. Because at this point, I'm sort of like probably thinking about it a little bit, but we might be able to whip around the outside, but I think it's too far back. No. Nope, never mind. Easy peasy. What am I on about? What do I know? I think in the race, in the moment, I'm thinking I'm doing that. Because you know. What do I know? Yeah, what do I know? But in the like, this thing has so much grip compared to everything else. This, I mean, look at this. Look how far back we're 1.1 seconds back. 1.1, and look how easy this is. And it's done before you even turn in. Like, it's absolutely insane. It was the thing I was trying to warn Grizz about mostly, because obviously he's done multi-class racing in GT and LMP2. He's never done it in LMP1. I was trying to tell him that in the LMP1s now, with the grip they've got, the closing speed on even the P2s is massive. And you can do things like that, because that's why you got to be sort of looking so far ahead now. It's Stowe from 1.5 back. Bloody hell! Now here, this is gonna get one. You're gonna get one here. There's nothing you can do here. Like if you try and, because you know people have and will try this, they'll still try and. Like maybe I even used a little bit more boost here to guarantee I got this one. You know, it's here you just pick them off as you can. I suddenly want to do less. It just seems everything is turned up to 11. Pretty much, it is lightning. It's so lightning fast. Now here, we actually had a decent run with traffic, because we closed the gap on Phil and Sergey. But this very quickly goes wrong. Now here, this is something I like to do. When they're sitting in the middle of the road like this, I'm like, nah. Now you don't get the racing line now, if you want to come back over. That's exactly what I'm thinking in my head at that point. I'm doing that a little bit out of spite. Genuinely. It's so annoying. Especially later in the straight. It's like, come on, get over there, will you? It's a prototype drive. It is infuriating when you're getting close to the braking zone and they're still doing it. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the thing with the why it works for the GT. I don't know. That's the thing. It's so stupid. It's really petty, but it annoys me so much. Just don't hit them. Ah, yeah, we got that little slowdown. Bloody hell, alright, Siren. Yeah. That was my one legitimate slowdown, I think. Which then, of course, cost us the time that we gained through the traffic. It was just an annoying stint. I didn't drive very well, and the traffic was After that was just slow down so you're alongside and force onto the non-racing lane. Exactly. Yeah.
Not ideal.
You got too many in this race? Well, how many did you get, Coin, in the end? Come on, let's skip forward. At some point, Will behind us is going to be out of the race. I said that was one thing with the P1. The attrition rate was so high. Like even before that, we had the incident we did. It was like seven of them were out already. Here we go. This P2. Probably not going to get that before the S's. Really, it's too far ahead. I mean, even with the boost here, it's going to be too far ahead. Because you don't really gain that. It's not a huge gain, it's just sort of get the car moving, really, out of there. Did I do this? No, I didn't, okay. I mean, now, I think you can hear me say something about it being 20th place. You're thinking it's not going to be very quick through here.
It's 20th place GT, P2 even.
No. You know it's not going to be great through there. Well, it was pretty damn late for you, Coin. I mean, it was.
Yeah. Ferrari would. Oh, that was today. Okay.
I mean, here again, like a little sign that it just wasn't the gap. Wasn't really closing the gap ahead, which was in clear air, which was a little frustrating. And I wasn't, because I just wasn't driving well enough at that point.
How's it going? Just did an
LMV round at Spa.
I mean,
Oh,
it was
only
going
28
well.
cars, really?
Punted out a second.
Christ.
We are where we are now.
I was surprised, Coin. Like set up bloody late, racing yourself.
Be able to do a triple. Yeah.
Like at this point, yeah, the car feels okay. Just not entirely used to it. The rust is sort of kicking in a little bit. Not quite hitting the mark like that. That little, just a little bit of, you know, not quite getting it right. It's fractions, but as you can see, like the gap here, it you know, watch the delta go up. It's.
I don't know.
So now we got traffic coming up again. Where do we get on the straight? Easy peasy. Now it starts to get more difficult with the mix of P2s and GTs at times. I don't know if it was this lap or a couple more in the future, but there's a really awkward moment I had through the Porsche Curves with a GT and a P2. So we've gained a little bit through there on them. This P2, oh, this is it, I think. Maybe? Yeah, I think this might be it.
Nah, that was a waste, you idiot. Damn it.
Because like there I boosted a little bit, but it was too late. It was too late to get this one. The thing is, at this point, if it was just a P2, I would have considered going around the outside here. But the closing speed, like, yeah, I know, Coin, I know, but hang on a minute. Here, with the P2, it has the GT in front. So I'm in my head, I know that P2 is going to be quicker than the GT through here as well. So the closing speed between the GT to the P2 to the P1 behind, it's going to be a massive, you know, concertina effect. And whilst you could do this, and then he does this, like, this is the thing you don't bank on. This is the thing that you've not thought about. Because then, like, now it's awkward, and now you're a little bit flustered. and and now he's, now he's looking at me, and I'm a bit, oh God, what do you? This is really awkward.
Jesus Christ!
He's not a dick. It's just awkward, you look at, he's 19th place P2. No, he's not the quickest guy in the world. He's probably looking behind him, seeing me, and he's now missed a corner. He's probably looking at me in the mirror, and he's looking at GT in front. He's missed a corner a bit, and now at this point, I'm annoyed, and I'm sort of like, what's going on? And now he finds himself sort of on the inside. I haven't got the corner as a car left at this point, I don't think. So we're not side by side. But now he's looking at me. I'm on his outside. Now he's looking at the GT car in front, and he's going to be. I imagine he's panicking a little bit, So he gets here and then he gets out of it, I ain't getting out of it. But yeah, that was awkward. That cost a good couple of seconds there. I say get on with it, but he didn't have anywhere to go. It's not. He just didn't have anywhere to go, and I think he just panicked a little bit and sort of. But in the end, what he did do right, was once he got to this position, once he got here, he held a line. He didn't do anything silly. He drove a good consistent line in the end. Held the inside. He did that right. That was good. Because it would be very easy to sort of panic a little bit in that position and sort of hit the curb a bit, or just get it a bit further wrong. Really, and here again missing apexes.
I don't know what he was doing.
I'm not going to say that I had a heart attack, but I had a heart attack.
In the end, it could have been worse. We're still in the race, But now I'm sort of like, I'm getting. Because at this point, I'm already getting a little bit frustrated at my own driving. And then things like that are starting to happen. Then this little GT car, it's like, this is easy pass. Yeah. Yes, it was a dog. In the background from the night, yes. Yes, it was. Oh, excuse me. We got 2 border collies. Yeah, in my system in one lane of noxious go. Well, I mean, at that point, it could have been worse. It does get worse. But obviously. I like it, just little things like this. This starts to get a little annoying. You've just had that moment. You're not driving so well. And then you come across a car just coming out the pit lane. It's like, why didn't you come across that car in front? Sort of. It's just little frustrations, Then you got this one here, which is going to be, you're going to have to follow. You're going to lose time through here as well. Suddenly it's 7 seconds, and this guy was pretty slow through here. Even for a GT car, it felt a little slow. No, for sure, Sam, for sure. It comes and goes, and now 9 seconds. So like I say, in a third of a lap, it's gone from being just over 4 up to 9. It was.
And like that, 5 seconds gone to 4.
I'd love to do Le Mans this week, but busy with lots of cycling. No, for sure. I sit there and I'll bitch and I'll moan and I'll be, but I love it. I still love it when I do it. It's just how it is. It is.
Yeah, that was.
You accept it when you go in. That's.
That was not ideal in the slightest.
Look at this face up here. This guy is so annoyed. Look at him. He's so annoyed. You're boiled, yeah, pretty much.
Like,
It.
just drive. Stop piddling around.
Hey, Pato is at the MCT. Oh, is he now? Racing drivers, what a bunch of twats. Real or virtual? Bunch of twats. We all are. McLaren Technology Centre. MTC, isn't it? Yeah. Not MCT. Yeah. So here again, it's another one that you know here, this thing in front, you're gonna have to follow through here a little bit. It won't be massive, but it's enough to be another bit. But even at this point, though, they've still lost a little bit up in front through going through their own. But now, look at this on the relative. Nightmare. Because you know you're going to be following them all through the Porsche Curves. The speed that you carry in this thing. So in your head, you've got to be, you know, prepared for that. And I know it. I know it. I know what's going to happen through here. You know. Like here, I think I try and pass this one. I think I do the... Yeah, this is what I do here. Here we go. This is a much better example of what I mean. When you drive it in deep into the right-hander and then sort of scrub the speed, and then you've got the grip to... So here we go. Watch this. I drive this in much deeper than I would otherwise, and then get back on it. Now, he wasn't happy, but I'm quite happy about that. The horrible man that I am. And here you can't do anything. It's just too late in the braking zone.
Please, come on.
More LMP1s have retired already.
Christ.
And here, another GT's just going to make the pit lane. So again, you're going to be offline, going round the outside of the right-hander here. It's not difficult, but it's still you're not on the optimal line. You can't get onto the racing line. It's a bit more time. And suddenly the gap, 11 seconds. And you think a lap and a bit ago, it was just over 4. That's how it goes. You know?
You said multi-class racing was fun. Well,
You're taking a lot of leaves out of my book, have you?
I know.
I have nothing to argue.
I hope the leaves are useful at least. Now I know there's plenty of people that are better than me at this, but I like to think I'm at least handy at it. You know. You know, we're not as quick as guys like Jan and Spets and that, but I feel like as a group we're typically pretty good at this. You know, obviously this race was a bit different. We had obviously Grizz. You know, like I said to him, he is completely green at this, and it's just you know. Don't need to roast your tyres into every corner. Yeah. It's fine. Grizz doing, you know, like I say with Grizz, I've told him, it was your first race. I mean, even there, wasn't it? Like, could you go deep into this one? Oh, I don't know, man. You could be rude. You could be really rude and not regen and just go in deep, but you know.
Come on.
I mean, it's quite critical.
Flashed 4 times or so on Sunday. Main thing I've... Oh, but no, sorry. What I was saying about Grizz is he's like, this was his first ever time racing the P1. I know I've said it a few times, and I said it to him a few times. But his first ever time racing this car. And said, to just drive this car isn't difficult. It's an easy thing to just get in and just drive. The difficulty in this
In terms of
The difficulty in this is in the management of the boost. So even if you do LMP2, which Grizz has obviously done with endurance racing, you come into this and you've got this other aspect that is vitally important to how this car goes quick. And it changes what you have to do in traffic. Certainly in some braking zones. There are some where maybe in some cars you'd think about, I'm just going to stick it in there deep and all that. But this thing in some circumstances, you just can't. Because you need the boost. The boost is sometimes worth more than the getting held up in certain corners. Not all corners, obviously, but in some corners it's worth, the net gain is more to have the boost out of the corner than it is to not have it and get by through the a medium or low speed corner.
Can you tell I'm rusty, chat?
Hey, GC twins. Unfortunate twins, are they really? Oh dear. You'd think one of them would be a bit thinner, wouldn't you? Really? Make sure that whenever you're fighting for control and you spin, the car behind reacts to you and spins off instead. Exactly, Ismail. Exactly. It's the difficulty with these cars has never been the driving at all. It's in the finer detail, which we obviously have the advantage of having done this for Christ. I mean, over 4 years now. What was it? No, it was 18, wasn't it? For over 3 years now. These cars have been in the sim. Exactly, Taylor. Exactly. That's and even then, like we've been. You've just beaten me to it, Coin. Yeah. I've been doing this stuff, top class LMP1 racing. Bloody hell. Yeah. Probably 8, 9, 10, even 10 years ago at this point. No, even more. No. Because the first time I would have done it probably would have been 09, would have been LMP1. Obviously no hybrid or anything like that, but it's certainly something I've done a lot of. Sort of pride myself on not crashing, really. Back in R Factor 1, we're talking. We're going all the way back to RF1, you know. All the way back, yeah. Like my first endurance race would have been probably 2008 in RF1. That would have been a GT car, but still, it's been doing it a long time. Oh, for sure, side switch, for sure. Like, it's much easier now for me to, while I may not have everything down with driving the actual car, my head is still, like, here again. I know what this car can do for it. I know this is a standard pass. They've gone a little bit deep into the left, but...
Done waiting.
There was a little bit of frustration in that one as well. It all plays into it, even if you haven't driven the car so much. Because, like I said with this race, I hadn't driven the car since the 24 and had limited practice coming in. But, of course, we've driven the car quite a lot here, so you know roughly what you got to do. The difficulty comes in when you... in the driving of the car comes when you're not, when you've not really driven it a lot, even though we know it well. So here, I'm struggling now with, like, remembering what it drove like on these tyres and what it was like in the second stint, and getting frustrated.
Right now, I probably feel a little bit better than I did 10
It wasn't until the first stint, the third stint, that things started to come back. Because as we go through that, let's get there now. Let's be honest, we've been sat here for bloody ages now. Oh, yeah, through here. We'll have to follow this one through Arnage. P2s in the Porsche Curves. But in the, like I say, in the, yeah, changing fuel with the mouse, yeah. Colin, you're talking to someone that used to watch other people's races in RF1 whilst going down straights.
Making me fall asleep. It's kind of soothing, isn't it? I've fallen asleep before to Audi on board.
Yeah, like this is not, this is easy.
And that sort of video I've fallen asleep to, those ones that are hours long.
Oh dear. Yeah, so do I, Jake, to be honest.
Rubbish. Not that it matters anyway.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something, wasn't I? Yeah, the third stint was by far my best stint in the race. I wanted to go another one. But by that point, I was hurting a bit and realised, sort of like, if I do another one, we've got 3 people in the car. There's not really going to be time to get everyone a good go, you know. But the third stint was definitely much better. We closed in basically on everyone through that third stint. Compressed the gap to the whole field quite a lot in the end. Ugh. This is awkward. Because now... Here we go. Let's have a look. This one... Like, here it's okay. Here it's okay. But then he felt quite slow. I don't know if that was normal, but now it's awkward. Because I've not been able to carry the speed through. Maybe I should have realised earlier that the speed that they will carry for there won't be quite as good. I don't know. But here, with this sort of... Because I wasn't expecting this... I wasn't entirely expecting this close-up in speed. I've sort of... The momentum's lost. So now, because like... Oh, damn it. Come on. Get back. Get back there. So here I'm thinking, you know, we're going to try and carry some speed through and then zoom out on the exit. But here, oh, I missed it again. But there we had to, where I felt like it just slowed down more than I thought, and I had to get back on the brake, so the momentum's gone completely, and now this makes this awkward. But I've decided I'm bugger it, I'm coming through anyway, you know. And he realised as well. You know, he didn't make it difficult into there. He just
Can't catch a break at the moment at all.
so sometimes like in moments like that, I didn't flash. No flash, I know. Like staggering.
It's just annoying.
Sometimes there it's just better to sit back a little bit more and try and carry the momentum out. Hey Ivy, hey Hasnane. Welcome. And here, I think I'm probably going to go left, didn't I? Yeah. I don't know, I just decided that's what I was doing that time. Just decided that's what I was doing.
The CLR, yeah.
So this next one... Yeah, you're going to have to wait until after Mulsanne here.
Much more dramatic hump. It's down here.
Here we go. The next one, probably going to end up behind through the Porsche Curves in the pit lane, annoyingly. Yeah. And here I realize, like here, while this is an in-lap, I know that you're going to catch these two through the Porsche Curves anyway. There's no point. There's no point in getting there and following them even more. For me, anyway. Someone else might do that differently. But you know at this point you're following at least one of them through. Maybe if I boosted, maybe I could have got both of them around the outside here. But now you do also have boost. Even if you only get one of them here, you now have boost to use out of here and carry speed into the pit lane and definitely get this one. You know, it's... Which I absolutely do here. Bye! So it swings and roundabouts. You know, you can use it in different ways on the in-lap if you come into a situation like that. Could have used it earlier. Maybe I could have got them both around the outside of the Porsche Curves, the right-hander. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know. It's just weighing it up in your head. That's all. Just thinking what works, what do you think is going to work, what doesn't. Also, yeah. Fourth gear in the pit lane in LMP1 in Le Mans. So how far were we behind at this point? Did it say? No, okay. Because I thought it was Magenta in the race every single time. Is that instead of one? Yeah, that is instead. Instead of doing the up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, this gives you the consistent 60 kilometers an hour. Like, watch this. I'll go up to fourth. There you go. It sits at 60. I wouldn't think this is what they do at all. But, you know, iRacing stuff.
That wasn't
I don't know. Maybe they do, but
that really wasn't.
I wouldn't think so. So I quite heavily to the move boost school of thought for traffic. Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially on tracks where you don't use the 100% as well. You know?
Very frustrating.
Most limits are set to be, yeah. What did also mod catch from that? Absolutely no idea. No idea. Right then, let's get back into it. Here we go. This is the stint that went well. This was a really good stint. Pace was decent. Because this thing will just do, like, it'll just keep on doing the same lap time over and over again. You know, if as long as you don't cook the tyres, it just keeps going. So here we go. So we're at least 12 seconds, 12, 13 seconds off the next car in class right now. Here we'll get both of these. Watching this P2 just to see. Like, at this point, I think he's probably going to stay over there just because like, the body language of that car. Damn it. Like, you can usually get a pretty good read on those that will swoop across here or keep on going on that line. Here, for me, I felt he was so far over. He looked like he saw I was coming. He's just going to leave it open, and he did. It's just one of those awkward little spots. Just watch the body language of the car, where they are on the road, going down the straight, and I mean, see, I thought about doing maybe like something like that. Not say critique, but just sort of maybe some advice that you can hand out that's not necessarily about just going quicker, because that's not the bit I'm good at. I don't think I'm not necessarily good at the you do this, you do this, you do this to be quicker. I'm not very good at pointing out this is exactly what you did wrong, or this is what you're doing wrong in your driving to go quicker. I think I'm probably better at the looking ahead, thinking sort of side of things. Again, this guy's going in the pit lane. Annoyingly, had I known this guy was going in the pit lane, I'd have stayed on the racing line. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you. But no, I sort of think about maybe let people send in some stuff if they think I can add something. I don't know. I don't know if to anyone that might find it useful. Maybe people would find it useful. I don't know. Into the pit lane for Ford Chicane. I'm sorry, Coin. I know I do it sometimes as well. It just. I'd say depending on the car, it can just open up the angle a little bit, but it's not much, I don't always do it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Depends how consistent I'm being, really. So we go. We're down to. I mean, Phil's had a bloody great run here. But he nearly 7 seconds up the road from Sergey now. Oh, LMP2. Yeah, we're still. There we go. We're starting to sort of drag it back a little bit now. Missed that apex a little bit. That wasn't so good. I love... I almost prefer how this car handled in the third stint than I did in the first and second. Because I did that test prior to the 24 this year, and found the tyres could essentially do 6 stints if you really wanted to push it. I mean, that's obviously why Coyne and Phil did the whole split the race down the middle, do 5, 6 stints on the tyres, you know. Yeah, the second stint was probably the hot lap stint, which I screwed up in this one and got all that bloody traffic, which was annoying. But I didn't drive very well in that stint at all. Here we go. So this one after the first chicane, the first chicane.
It gets exponentially faster at the end of the stints.
And that is another thing with this car. The fuel comes out of it; it just gets faster, 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 faster. It was only 2 stints, pretty much. Then Matster, yeah. How things have changed. Yeah, Coin. Yeah, pretty much. That's my memory of it anyway when I tested it. So there we go. Gap just under 10 seconds to Sergey now. I didn't catch him, but we certainly brought the gap down. I check the standings every now and then just to see what the gap is to everyone ahead as well. Because sort of like Sergey, how I don't know how you say it. Mid stint was well announced. Yes, yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily on raw speed. It certainly, but it was so consistent and so good through these long runs. Because it was the thing. Because I know Alex obviously asked me for some feedback on 3.0. I think it was, and it was sort of like initially that one starts off fast. But then for me, it just got worse and worse and worse, understeered, and just didn't work in the end. You know, this one should be before the Porsche Curves with the boost. Used a little bit more there just to make sure we're going to get it, which we would have done. I think we'd have done anyway. We didn't need a little bit of boost. That's what OCM ran on Sunday. What, 3.0? Okay. Yeah, 3.0 didn't feel very good to me in the end. It started off feeling good, but then got worse. This one, yeah, we're not quite going to get this one. Annoyingly, just going to have to follow him through. Yes, yeah, it is. So this one we should be the next GT car after Tertre Rouge. We're plenty behind it, so we can actually carry some speed through it. And we'll get by it easy peasy. Under 10 seconds again, Sergey. Come on, come on, come on, go!
Rename the whole thing.
Mistakes were made.
Oh,
I think we'll watch some of Grizz's stint as well, just to get the perspective of someone that hasn't done it before.
You're not allowed to like his faults to live.
That's all right, side switch, man. You enjoy your day. Will we critique Grizz's drive? I'm not going to critique it necessarily, but we'll get the perspective of someone who again hasn't raced this car before. You know, here if we go here again, just want to see this again. Like here, you look at this the difference between this and the P2. Here, annoyingly, the plus button's in the way. The plus button, I'm thinking of Battlefield. The play button's in the way. But here, you're looking at this one. He's much closer to the centre line. He's a bit further up the road as well. But I'm thinking he's going to go inside anyway. He's got no obligation to open it up, of course. None at all. And that was absolutely fine, because that was early enough to do. It wasn't like you were right behind him.
Body language is that you're going to do it, and you're going to. Yeah. It's alright.
RDR2, oh. Do it, man. I like Coin. I wish I could wipe my memory of it in some ways and just play it again. I've spent so much time in that game. Yeah, quite. It wasn't one of those I wanted to rush, really. I just sort of wanted to take it in when I played it, you know?
And inhale.
All of that, and I'm not even sure we may have gained a second through all of that. Like,
Here we go, yeah, this will be easy. Easy down the straight. This one as well. We'll get this one before the
I
chicane.
don't know if he has floor guard.
Easy.
Timmy's
The next to P2. Mulsanne? Be close to it at Mulsanne. You won't get it, though. Does URD has a Discord now, does it? Okay. Okay. They're working on the C8R. Yippee. I mean, it adds to their collection, to be fair, but I just, whatever, really.
oh wow!
But here we go now. Look, we've managed to bring the gap down somewhat. We've gained some time on those ahead.
How I feel in a couple of laps, potentially.
Alright, then I'm
The
just gonna
tyres
use
will
the
do it,
bathroom
but
real
yeah,
quick.
it's just how I'll feel more than anything.
Okay, then I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Christ.
There's some point where I absolutely make a bit of an error, which we'll find. This one here, I sort of. This is awkward. This is an awkward place to catch a car because they, you know, some will swoop in a little early just to say no. Some will still sit out there. It's just an awkward time to catch him, really. But I decide I'm doing it. I think he sees that in the end, just lets it happen. Again, they have no obligation to do that. Do you think you will do an N24 for VRS Le Mans next year? I wouldn't. I don't. No idea what they've got planned for next year. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to drive this thing around Nordschleife for 24 hours. Not at all. So here we go. I think this stint as well, I think, is where Jan was saving fuel. I think. To get that 12 again. Maybe it was the stint before, I don't know, but the gap certainly came down. The whole field compressed in this stint.
That's awesome. And that, but
So, I mean, at the start, yeah, I think it was this one too. Because I think at the start of this stint, I think it was about 30 seconds off of what he was. And I think it ended up being like 22 or 23 by the end of it. N21 or VRS Le Mans. Oh, right. I probably wouldn't do the N24. It doesn't... I just don't... I'm not big on GT3 cars. And I'm not big on driving iRacing, for the most part. So driving GT3 cars in iRacing... Or GT cars in iRacing, isn't it? I'll just go and drive them somewhere else. Good night, Burns. We tried to save fuel, but LMP2s were doing some weird things. Yeah. I found my rigid shaft. Yes. Shake you. Here we go. Down to 26.5 at that point. See that again? Yeah, 26.5 at that point. Lars is closed up to Jan a bit. Phil's pulled away a bit from Sergey, but we've sort of closed up on everyone really from there. So that's it had gone well this stint. It did go well, I should say. It had gone well up to this point though, as well. Where did Coin Phil finish? They finished second in the end. See you, Side Switch. Enjoy your day, man. At one place I got damaged where it ended... Ah, okay, got you. Missed that apex there, that was It's naff. I do a lot of that. I do a lot of missing apexes by a little bit. It's something I've always bloody done. It's really annoying. I just sort of, it's when I start sort of pushing on and sort of driving it in a little bit deep, which is funny considering how early I brake, but I still try and carry too much speed through sometimes. No, I'm not an alien. That's the thing. I'm not. I'm in that annoying sort of bracket below. It's like... And for me as well, like I'm someone that needs time in the car. I need practice to get up to that speed. I'm not naturally at that sort of level. It's like I know where I'm at. It's fine. I know I'm not as good as the top guys. And I know to be at my best, I need a lot of laps. I can't just jump in and be quick. That's not me.
I absolutely didn't almost miss that braking point at all.
Well, in this race, yeah. In this race, I must admit, like I think our best performance as a team just let it play. Came in that, what was it? The 2019 Le Mans, when I think when we looked at overall, we would have, like, our pace and performance there, we certainly could have won second split. I think we'd have been something like 7th. Obviously, it's a different race, but on the average lap time across all 4 of us, we were good enough for like 7th in top split that year. So it was, and that was even with a slightly damaged car. It wasn't much, but it was enough to take the edge off the top of performance. So that was the year that we put in a lot that year. Sort of, that was when we were trying, when we were properly trying.
This is Bridges' first ever race in the car. He's not going to be massively quick. Hodge is struggling with the car as well, so it was.
So enjoyed lap 30 or so into Indy. Oh God, that one! Oh yeah, we'll have to have a look at that. If someone can dig up that clip, we'll have a look at that crazy that poor old Jan had to deal with. That was horrendous, man. That was awful. Because when I looked at it on my replay, I thought, is that just a replay screwing up? But then I went to your car and the replay. No, actually, no. It's just his internet being terrible. That was. I mean, I was glad it didn't do anything major to you. But Christ. Here we go. Look, we closed the gap again to the people ahead. It's going really well. 10.7 at this point. Third stint. Car's going well. Just about midway through the stint. You never got that scared that much at Le Mans. I'm not surprised. There it is. Let's have a look.
So, dass da vorne wird wieder so ein Move sein wie gerade eben.
This, oh man, I'll have crap myself at this as well.
Lars ist jetzt 4-3 dahinter wieder.
Here we go. Woo, woo. The rejoin was incredible. Absolutely amazing.
Alter, what?
Like, what can you do, man? The noise is perfect. He didn't see the rejoin. Oh, man.
Was ist denn das gewesen,
dear. The rejoin was spectacular.
Alter,
Absolutely spectacular. I don't know if anyone got the rejoin. I don't know if I looked. I might have looked at it in the replay as well. We'll have a look in a sec. When we're nearly at the end of this stint now, anyway.
Yeah,
So.
it's nuts, Tom. It really is.
Yeah. You can find it on your VOD. Go for it, Coin.
No,
We'll have a look at it. Oh yeah, because of course you shared it on TeamSpeak, didn't you? Later on. Simon Pickering, man. Simon Pickering, this guy in the P2 up ahead, is someone that I have been in so many races with over the years. The first one I can remember was when me and Jimmy were racing with Nicky, well, not with Nicky, but against Nicky, in that Alton Park GT3 race many moons ago. Simon Pickering was in that race in a BMW the Z4 GT3. I've seen him in so many races. It's just uncanny. Oh.
Yes, yes it is.
Excellent.
There we go. Let's just be a bog standard pass out of here. There we go. Bye.
Probably on it.
You can permit me. Yep.
Chicane, I reckon.
Go on, Jake. I'll give you. Give coin permission. Thank you. Let's have a quick look at this. The intimidation to catch Nicky.
What's it?
Oh dear. Here we go. This is spectacular. So here we go. His internet seems to have sorted itself out.
Yeah, sure, but like, what the fuck is
And like, no, don't do this.
Oh no.
Beautiful.
But like, what?
But just.
I mean,
So here you go. Look, we'll pause it. Look at this. You can literally see 4 cars from this angle. One, two, three, 4. Look at this. You can see bloody, like, surely you can see that. Like, and you decide this is the right thing to do. And it just... Oh, God.
oh no.
I'd imagine so. Oh, God. Well, I think, like, can you imagine, like, being... like, almost the worst one to be... Not the worst one to be. Whoops.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
No. Damn it. Come on.
I mean, he got punted, yeah.
Like, at this point... Like, being the 4th guy here, he's probably unsighted by this one in front, looking at that angle. He might be able to see it. No, it wasn't you, Coin. It was the Twitch controls. I wish I could sort of fine-tune it to how much I want to go backwards and forwards.
Sure.
So that guy is probably completely unsighted. First guy misses. Second guy, you know, you've got to assume that he's... What can you do? And there was Coin going... Oh, sorry, Phil going through. Just about.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
Oof, he actually waited again.
Oh, dear. And me! Woo! Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. Easy pass.
But definitely have been the 4.
So, yeah, like, there we go. At that point, if we check again there, we now... And, of course, I think this would have been after that, wouldn't it? So we check the standings again here. So we've all compressed up again now. 23 and a half seconds between the top 5 again. Couldn't agree more. 99 incident points. Absolutely. So is this Bailey's version of Skyfab? Pretty much. Pretty much. The slightly lower budget, slightly less good version of it. I haven't got anything that I can just like spin my finger on to make it rewind.
You'll be getting fresh ones.
Just set your SRD 0.0 in 0 CPI. But genuinely, that sort of thing. That's the extra radio message. That sort of rejoin, that's the stuff that should be reported. You know, because that is something you shouldn't ever do. Sure, you want to report the intentional stuff, and like, but that sort of stuff people need to keep on reporting stuff like that, because it may, you know, you're not always looking for a ban or something like that, but they need to know.
Shut up and drive, Bailey.
Look how tall I am. Wow.
What?
Sorry, I consciously was pressing my push to talk. Very sorry.
Look how tall I am.
Wow.
Look how big my number is.
Oh, no.
I'm huge.
Sorry, I
What was it?
196.
Oh, he's talking about his height. That's right. Griz's talking about his height.
Show up.
So,
Sorry, I consciously was pressing my push to talk. Very sorry.
Look how tall I am.
Wow.
Look how big my number is.
Oh, no.
I'm huge.
I'm sorry. Shut up and drive, Bailey.
Yeah, baby.
No wax. You shut up.
Do you know anyone that has been banned from iRacing? No one that I know. Not personally, no. I say race to the rules, so I expect everyone else to, so I'll protest. I don't care about it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it, really. Because if you don't report it, nothing ever changes. And oh, don't even get me started on bloody Govan, Christ. I could be here all day. Oh, here we go. This was the lap of the incident. There we go. There was the GT car. Jan Stadensky still driving as well. Yeah. Yeah. I understand there's a business side to iRacing as well, but there's also the way that iRacing is promoted. It's there are some things that they allow in the end that are like, you sure about that? I'm not sure about that. You know, you got to set a standard for it. I protested, got protested for one F1. Yeah, it was my own fault, but they did it as revenge. Yeah.
Racing the tractor, please.
Is this the moment? This is okay. Here comes my probably. This was probably my one real error in the race. Now here you can see the P2 in front. Now I'm thinking here at this point, I'm gonna sort of go around the outside of the P2 here, through the right hander, just dragging the brakes a little bit, and swoop in between the P2 and the GT, which fairly standard. Drove it in a bit deeper. I drove it in much later there than I ordinarily would. But what I didn't do, which is fine, but what I didn't do was hit the brake hard enough. I'm still in regen mode on my braking. So we're carrying. By the time I realise, it's too late. We get lucky. We get really lucky here. We managed to save it from the sideways moment. Get the little slowdown. And then the GT is like, oh no, we're going to go this way. Anything I say that the GT car did wrong there, ignore it. That was me. And he's quite right, bloody flashing away now. Look at that again. So yeah, my aim, again here, is just to sweep around in between and end up sort of between them, really. But we just go in too deep, go in too fast, really. Not consistent on the brake pedal at all. It's not here. It's not until here. This is way too late. Way too late. That I realise I'm carrying too much speed to do what I wanted to do, and yeah. Shut up. Yeah, it was just a mistake. It was all it was. In some ways, maybe not dissimilar to what the one where we got hit early on, sort of before the end of the first stint. Although in that one, I think that was more them trying to follow through into the gap behind the P2. Whereas this one, I just didn't brake enough. I carried too much speed in and didn't realise it until too late. It's just little errors. That's all. It's little errors have big old consequences in these things. You know.
Sorry guys, so it's all okay.
No respect. Yeah. Just disgraceful. Who is this guy? But you know, like, I mean, look, we'll look at the gap again at this point. Hey, Andy. Yeah, it's going all right. It's going all right. Just sort of analysing a bit of the weekend. Sort of a bit of multi-class fault driving. So here we are. Like, look, here we got it down to 21. Hello, you. We're down to 21 seconds at this point. So this stint has gone really well. We've caught up quite a lot to everyone, really, at this point. No, we're good 9 seconds down on pretty much to the lead. We're good several seconds down on everyone else in front. It couldn't have gone much better this stint. It was just a shame about the middle. You know, the middle stint wasn't very good for me. But this was the top split race, yeah.
But what the GT was doing coming out of the chicane, I'm not entirely sure.
What you on about, Coin? Oh, look, what you on about? Oh, you.
That's where some of the rust might be coming in with that sort of move, like the actual gauging the distance between two different classes of car. It's the sort of thing you want to be sort of really quite.
Yeah, I think I'm
done some
talking about it a little bit here. About the incident.
It's where some of the rust might be coming in with that sort of move, like the actual gauging the distance between two different classes of car. It's the sort of thing you want to be sort of really quite, you know, you want to have done some racing and.
Yeah, so basically just, I'd say a bit rusty still. It's the sort of thing I probably wouldn't do ordinarily. I wouldn't. It's not the sort of error I would normally make. Trying to talk and drive at the same time is hard. It is. It's very hard. It's very hard. And here we go. We'll get this GT here because I decide, well, we're doing it. That's the speed. It's insane, isn't it? Like, at this point, to even be thinking about being able to do that from, like, if we go back even further here, 1.5. What are we? At this point, we're 2.5 seconds behind Burrell. 2.5 seconds right now. And you're thinking a few hundred meters, we're by him. Just, it's insane speed these things have got. Like, even here, 1.3 up the road, 2, 1, he's braking. Just drive it in a little bit, just let it float out. Done. Simple as that. Simple. You know. Yeah. This P2 on exit. Because here you're looking at the ones in front, but here you're going to be able to carry enough speed and you'll be by this P2 before the P2 can get to that GT car. As long as he... Yeah, there we go. You'll have to follow... never mind. I said no. I'm passing it because I used a bit of boost. That's an example of how you can use the boost in traffic. Because at this point, it's close. At this point, you know, I used a bit of boost. We're getting by it. Because through here, even though the GTs do have good mechanical grip, the P1 has so much more grip, it's still quicker through here to do something like that. To use a little bit of boost to make sure it happens. And here I think do I go for this? I think I do. Yeah. Much deeper. Here we go. This was how you do it. GTs used to be equal here or not? Yeah, they did. Yeah, for sure. Look, because at this point, normally, I'm already on the brakes. Already got a little sliver on the brakes. But here, still on the throttle, still on the throttle. Now, we're starting to... There. Ugh, got that wrong.
Okay, so you want to go for one more?
And here we're just talking about I'm getting out of the car. But that's the thing, Andy. This car has that level of grip. You can do it. It's because that doesn't, in the moment, that doesn't even feel difficult in this car, really. Because like I said, going into braking zones, I underdrive it because I'm just doing the regen thing because that's just how I drive it. But this thing can brake so much later than I normally do if you really want to drive it in deep, you know.
I was just looking at it. I was like, if I go on again, you'll barely get anything at the end of the race. I think.
Well, after actually at this point, I want to go and you're making me think of things now. It's just all about knowing what the car can do, you know? Especially if you run HDF, yeah. HDF on these things is pretty nuts. No, I bet it was. I bet it was Scully. It's just different in that regard. It's another thing to add in. The car itself may be easy to drive, but it's the management side of it is just a different level of difficult.
We got punted out a second, and then we've had pretty.
The P2 is much more like, yeah, you really just drive it if you want. I've not driven much of it, but
Really frustrating run, but you know, it is
yeah, we'll get these. We should get all of these out of Arnage now. With the boost, I think this is our end lap as well, so we'll use all. I think we'll use all the boost here.
So we got three of us, and I'm not.
Yeah, it is going. It is.
Another one physically, but I'm not feeling great.
No, we didn't use all the boost. Interesting. Wonder why not.
Because like, if I go on now, we'll only have. Well, I mean, what?
Maybe I didn't think I was going to get this GT, but then if I had used all the boost, I probably would have got the GT before we got to here. So you know, and then we've lost time, and then he does that. GT drivers, as much as like, you know, this did. As much as him getting out the way here, obviously it gained us time, but this is an example of what you still don't really do. Unless he just missed his turn, which I'm not sure he did. It didn't look like it just looked like he was letting me through. This is not what you're expecting. And suddenly you'll find yourself out here on this line that you've probably not driven a whole lot. So you're coming at the next right-hander much deeper, much wider, or much tighter even. But in the end, he was much slower. Well, I don't know, protestable. It's just the sort of thing that there needs to be a bit of just a bit of education on. You know, it's I don't know about protesting that. That's what he did. What he did there was, whilst it's not what I expected, but he didn't. It wasn't something that he did in a dangerous way. You know, there I'm already. The thing is that I'm already off the throttle. I'm not. You know, this is just stuff that happens in a multi-class race. This is stuff I've seen in league racing, so it's not. It's annoying, but whilst I'd still say to him, stick to your line, keep going. What he did do, though, is he did it in a manner that wasn't unsafe. No, he slowed down. Look, he's on the brakes there. He got out of the way, and then he got on his brakes when he was out of the way to slow it down more for this right-hander. If something weird happens out of it, then sure, you can take a look at it for protest. But just driving it like that, I wouldn't. That's not really protestable. He's not really done anything. It's annoying, but it's something that it happens in multi-class racing. It's fine. Oh dear. And there you go. That was my triple stint at Le Mans from the weekend.
Tiny
whilst I am most likely done driving, Mr.
That was that. There we go. That was me from the weekend. Maybe that was useful for some. I don't know. I quite enjoyed looking back over it and talking about it.